guests are going to want, obviously, a very clean space. When it looks tidy, when there's that fresh scent coming in, that is first impression.
So yeah, today we're going to talk about Airbnb, your experience buying this one. This is the first one that has been added to the portfolio, so we'll kind of let you talk a lot about your experiences. I'll just sit back, maybe take a little nap, and
Yeah, maybe make a cocktail, hang out, pass me one. Hey, you stay busy, buddy.
okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. So yeah, let's start off. What attracted you to Airbnb, or short-term rentals, we should say?
Yeah, I mean, to me, I really just kind of I stumbled into this. Yeah, and I also call it short-term rental. Everybody calls it Airbnb or whatever because it's a name title, but I have it listed on Airbnb, VRBO, there's Booking.com. Marriott now has homes and villas and things like that that you can rent through as well. And then you can do even direct booking too. But we won't dive too much into the intricacies of that and benefits of each of the different platforms. But really for here, it wasn't something that I had necessarily planned, was living in a studio apartment down the street that I'd moved out of the Bay Area during middle of COVID, and just wanted to move toward the beach. Didn't know if I was going to be in San Diego, wanted to test it out. No one knew what the heck was going on with COVID. So just kind of moved there, got my feet wet here in San Diego, and then at a certain point said, okay, I'm looking for a primary residence, get more space, have some yard, some area for my dog. mainly him is what I'm looking for, and came Mission Beach is where we are today in San Diego, which is this little strip of land between the ocean and the bay that's behind us here. And initially wasn't really looking, but went and checked out this house and just fell in love. And with that, though, it happened to be two houses on a single plot of land, a duplex, but two APN numbers. So the seller only wanted to sell both properties together, which it was March 2022. So that was kind of the prime area of real estate. It was hitting that boom. And so it was a bit of a benefit to have them sold together, because when it was initially one, they were getting, literally, I think 70 offers, and seller said, all right, I only want to sell them both together, even though that's two APN numbers, so you could sell them off one by one. So with that, it ended up shrinking the pool of being able to acquire this place, and just absolutely loved it. It's got a rooftop. It has hot tubs on the roof, something that when I was looking and dreaming and even writing my goals in life for years, it was I live at the beach and I have a rooftop. And then the creme de la creme was sort of like I have a hot tub on the roof. Like, is that a realistic goal? We can talk about it, but I saw all these things and man, I got to have it. And so with that, I started to recognize that I could do short-term rental on this side and live on my primary residence on that side, look at the financials of it, and recognize that I can pay. At that time, I was thinking some of my mortgage help subsidize my side with the income from this side, so meaning that I'm paying the mortgage on this side, expenses, everything, and on top of that, there's some money left over to go pay my mortgage as well. And what I've found out actually, and how it's performed and through some optimization, is that this real estate, this asset, this income is now able to cover both mortgages.
Yeah, that's a good segue into, on a high level view, what are kind of the stats look like in regards to what you'd be able to get for rent on this place as a long-term rental, as a 6-month, 12-month rental, versus what you're getting now as a short-term rental?
Yeah, that's a good question. So
thank you.
Well, you are just a phenomenal question asker. Hey, you sit back, bring that cocktail out, buddy.
I just woke up from a nap, so I figured I'd throw something in.
I know, the homeless are really getting lazy these days, huh? Just taking over houses, asking random questions to strangers.
Good questions, though.
Yeah, great question.
Thank you.
So, yeah, obviously there's a lot less management when you look at long-term rental. You're usually signing 12-month lease. People are just kind of taking care of the place, and it's a little bit more hands-off with that. But with that, if you go short-term rental style, what I've seen is that you can make, on an income perspective, you can go 3 to 4 times what you can make on long-term rental.
That's pretty significant.
It's massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes from not covering your mortgage to now covering both mortgages.
Yeah, so realistically, it wouldn't really make any sense for you to buy both sides of this townhouse if you're just doing this as a long-term rental.
No. I mean, I guess depends what your goals and aspirations were.
Yeah.
There is a lot more management associated with short-term rental. It's running a hotel. I mean, really what it comes down to, you are running a hotel, and you got to recognize that there's a lot of aspects of that. You can find property managers, or you can self-manage. And I've elected to self-manage. A few different reasons, but for starters, a property manager is going to take roughly about 20% of your income.
On the low end, I've heard stuff up to 30+%.
Yeah, absolutely. Because they'll also charge some of the other fees and things like that. So that's a significant impact.
Chunk of money.
But also recognizing that it is management. It is working with guests, things like that. There's things that I'll talk about here in a second of how to facilitate, how to make things easier for you. But there was a lot of learnings from it. And then secondly, I'm next door. I can hop over, deal with tenants, help facilitate maintenance, look on cleaners, things like that. So those are some of the big pieces for me that I decided to self-manage. And then third, kind of back to what we had talked about, just any sort of property manager, they don't care about the place like you do.
Yeah.
I live next door. It's my house as well, my area. So I'm over here picking up trash. I'm facilitating guests. I'm making sure that somebody's not too loud. And you would hope that a property manager just has that level of care and consideration. And the fact is, they're not. It's not their house.
Yeah.
So those are some of the reasons why I had really decided to bring this in-house.
So what are some of those pieces to the puzzle to be able to manage short-term rental on your own?
Yeah, so there are some big pieces, big learning lessons. When I had first started out, it was trial by fire, really. It was, I don't know what I'm doing in this short-term rental space. What do I need? What are the pieces of the puzzle to make it that I'm not spending half a day every day here to try to facilitate things? So, first one was cleaners. So if you have a good cleaner, good cleaning crew, one that ideally you have a crew, one manager, and then a crew that helps to do the work, that was a big piece for me.
And one that doesn't want to come over to your side to chat with you?
I like ones that just kind of get in, get their work done, and get out. So, in the end, that's a big piece, because guests are going to want, obviously, a very clean space. When it looks tidy, when there's that fresh scent coming in, that is first impression, and that sets things off correctly for tenants and reviews, positive impact, all of that I'll touch on one of those other learning lessons as well, of reviews and how you get maybe some positive reviews there, because that is kind of your marketing. Everybody reads the reviews on Airbnb, VRBO, and when you get some bad reviews, you go down in the rankings and people don't want to rent your place, and then vice versa if it is the flip. So